Africa, a name that conjures up 1,000 images, 1,000 stories. It's a continent that has long captured the world's imagination, yet is so often misunderstood or oversimplified. In the global media, Africa is frequently portrayed as a place of crisis, of conflict, poverty, and struggle. But the reality is far more nuanced, layered, and dynamic than the headlines suggest. This vast continent, stretching from the Mediterranean to the Cape of Good Hope, is home to over 1.4 billion people. It boasts more than 3,000 distinct ethnic groups, thousands of languages, and a tapestry of traditions that have evolved over millennia. Africa is constantly changing, shaped by its past and forging its own future. From the bustling, energetic streets of Lagos, one of the world's fastest-growing cities, to the serene, timeless plains of the Serengeti, Africa is a land of contrasts, contradictions, and compelling stories. Urban skyscrapers rise beside ancient landscapes, and modern technology blends with age-old customs. It's no wonder, then, that Africa is making headlines globally. Its stories are as diverse as its people, and its influence is felt far beyond its borders. Yet, these headlines often only scratch the surface. The true complexities, the everyday realities, and the remarkable resilience of its people are rarely explored in depth. The continent's challenges and achievements are often reduced to sound bites. Beneath the surface, there are stories of innovation, entrepreneurship, and hope. Young Africans are leading tech revolutions, communities are coming together to solve local problems, and new voices are rising to shape the continent's narrative. Right now, Africa is grappling with a range of challenges: conflicts that threaten stability, political shifts that reshape nations, and social changes that redefine identities. But these are only part of the story. Understanding these stories is crucial not just for Africans, but for everyone. The lessons, struggles, and successes of Africa have global significance, offering insights into resilience, adaptation, and the power of community. Why? Because what happens in Africa resonates globally. Its economies are intertwined with the world's, its innovations influence global trends, and its challenges, like climate change, migration, and health, are shared by all. We are all interconnected, and the issues facing one part of the world inevitably impact us all. Africa's story is, in many ways, a global story. In this essay, we'll delve into some of the most pressing issues facing Africa today, examining their significance, their roots, and their implications for the world at large. We'll look beyond the headlines to understand the forces shaping the continent. From the heart-wrenching conflict in Sudan, where families are displaced and communities torn apart, to the hopeful peace talks in Qatar, where diplomats and leaders strive for solutions and reconciliation. From the unsettling church raid in Kenya that has raised questions about security and religious freedom, to the complex land issues in Zimbabwe, where history, politics, and livelihoods are deeply intertwined, we'll navigate these stories together, shedding light on the challenges, the triumphs, and above all, the enduring spirit of Africa. Through it all, we'll see a continent that refuses to be defined by its difficulties, but instead rises with hope, creativity, and resilience. Sudan, a nation in Northeast Africa, is a land of rich history and diverse cultures, home to more than 45 million people. Once known for its ancient kingdoms and vibrant communities, Sudan now finds itself at the center of a crisis that threatens the very fabric of its society. Today, Sudan is embroiled in a devastating conflict that has shattered daily life and left millions in fear. The sounds of gunfire and explosions echo through once bustling neighborhoods, and the scars of war are visible on every street. What began as a power struggle between rival military factions has spiraled into a full-blown humanitarian catastrophe. The capital, Khartoum, and other major cities have become battlegrounds, with rival groups vying for control and ordinary citizens trapped in the middle. Cities are under siege, civilians are caught in the crossfire, and the death toll continues to climb at an alarming rate. Families are forced to flee their homes, seeking safety wherever they can find it, often with nothing but the clothes on their backs. The situation is dire. Hospitals are overflowing with the wounded, and medical supplies are running dangerously low. Food and clean water are scarce, leaving children and the elderly especially vulnerable. Makeshift camps have sprung up across the country, but they offer little comfort or security. The conflict has destabilized the entire region, with neighboring countries struggling to cope with the influx of refugees. Thousands cross borders every day, seeking refuge in places like Chad and South Sudan, where resources are already stretched thin. Children, women, and the elderly are among the most affected, facing hunger, disease, and the trauma of displacement. Many have been separated from loved ones, unsure if they will ever be reunited. The international community is scrambling to provide aid, but access is limited due to the ongoing fighting. Humanitarian convoys are often blocked or delayed, and aid workers risk their lives to reach those in need. The conflict in Sudan is a stark reminder of the human cost of power struggles. Behind every statistic is a family torn apart, a child orphaned, a community destroyed. It highlights the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of violence. The hopes and dreams of an entire generation are at risk of being lost to war. The world cannot afford to turn a blind eye to the suffering unfolding in Sudan. Global leaders, organizations, and ordinary citizens must come together to demand action and accountability. It is our collective responsibility to demand an end to the violence, to support humanitarian efforts, and to work towards a peaceful resolution that prioritizes the well-being of the Sudanese people. Only through unity, compassion, and sustained international attention can Sudan hope to rebuild and heal from this tragedy. News from Kenya sent shockwaves across the continent and beyond, as headlines blared with details of a disturbing event that would soon grip the attention of the world. The story quickly became the focus of heated discussions in homes, offices, and on social media, as people tried to make sense of what had happened. A police raid on a church in the western part of the country revealed a horrifying scene that no one could have anticipated. The church, once a place of worship and community, was now the center of a criminal investigation. Inside, authorities discovered two bodies, a grim testament to the tragedy that had unfolded within those walls. The sight was both shocking and heartbreaking, leaving investigators and locals reeling. Dozens of followers were found in a state of distress, many of them visibly traumatized and confused. Some clung to each other for comfort, while others sat in stunned silence, struggling to process the chaos around them. The discovery raised serious questions about the church's practices, its leadership, and what had truly been happening behind closed doors. Authorities began a thorough investigation, determined to uncover the truth. While details are still emerging, this incident has ignited a nationwide debate about religious freedom, the dangers of cult activity, and the responsibilities of law enforcement. Experts, community leaders, and ordinary citizens are all weighing in, demanding answers and accountability. The raid has also brought to light the vulnerability of marginalized groups who often seek solace and support in religious communities, but can sometimes fall prey to exploitation. It has exposed the potential for abuse within religious institutions, reminding us that trust can be dangerously misplaced when oversight is lacking. The church raid in Kenya serves as a stark reminder that freedom of religion, while a fundamental right, should never come at the expense of safety and well-being. Societies must find a balance between respecting beliefs and protecting citizens from harm. This event underscores the urgent need for vigilance, transparency, and accountability within all religious organizations, regardless of size or influence. Above all, it highlights the importance of protecting individuals, especially the most vulnerable, from exploitation and manipulation, ensuring that places of worship remain safe havens for all. Amidst the turmoil, there are glimmers of hope. In the Gulf state of Qatar, delicate peace talks are underway, aiming to bring an end to a long-standing conflict that has plagued a part of Africa. While the details of the negotiations remain confidential, the very fact that opposing sides are engaging in dialogue is a significant step forward. These talks are not without their challenges. Mistrust runs deep, and past agreements have crumbled. Yet the international community is hopeful that this time, a lasting solution can be found. The success of the peace talks in Qatar is crucial, not only for the countries directly involved, but for the wider region as well. A peaceful resolution would bring much-needed stability, allowing for economic recovery and development. It would also send a powerful message that dialogue, not violence, is the path to lasting peace. South Africa, a regional powerhouse, recently made headlines for hosting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The visit, while aimed at fostering dialogue, drew criticism from some quarters due to South Africa's historically close ties with Russia. This situation highlights the complex geopolitical landscape South Africa navigates. On the one hand, it faces pressure to condemn Russia's actions in Ukraine. On the other hand, it seeks to maintain its long-standing relationships and avoid being drawn into a global power struggle. South Africa's balancing act reflects the challenges faced by many African nations in today's multipolar world. These nations often find themselves caught between competing interests, forced to make difficult choices that impact their own development and security.